Living in a tiny house isn't always easy. In fact, it comes with some pretty big challenges. But what makes the simple life the sweet life is when you integrate space-saving design techniques. So this week, I'm going to talk about my favorite space savers. I want you guys to know that I do not work for any of these companies. I just like their products, and so I'm going to tell you about them. But if you're interested, they're all going to be linked down in the description. Now, these space savers don't just apply to tiny homes. They also apply to small homes, medium-sized homes, or even large homes that want to expand their space. So let's get started. I love to cook, and I especially love to cook with spices and gourmet salts. Here's a tidbit you may not know about me. I actually named my dog after a salt that you can get in France. That's how much I love salt. This spice holder is from Nice Spice. They make their own spices as well, but you can just buy the jars or the plate. I really love how it looks. I love the shape. Most magnetic spice jars are just circular shaped, and I think these are really cute and they can fit together in such a cute little way that creates almost like a honeycomb. Speaking of magnets, I'm also a big advocate for the magnetic knife holder. Get your knives off of your countertops, get them out of your drawers, and put them on the wall. Love magnets. Use them all over my tiny house. My bathroom is actually made with metal walls, so I've sewn magnets into my shower curtain just to expand the space within my shower. I highly recommend investing in magnets. A lot of people don't want to put a big sink in their tiny house because it's going to take up too much counter space, but what you need to do is cover the sink with something that could potentially work as extra counter space for you. Now, there's different ways you can do this. You can buy a cutting board that fits directly over your sink, or you can use a roll-out dish rack. I like that the dish rack can fold away and be gone when I don't need it. I also like that I can set my hot pots on top of it and it won't get destroyed, but it's whatever works for you. All I'm saying is utilize that space over your sink. As some of you probably already know, I'm a big advocate for the AeroPress coffee maker. It's the smallest, most compact coffee maker that you can buy. It packs away so easily, it's super lightweight, and it makes a great cup of coffee. It's a great space saver for a tiny kitchen. Let's move out of the kitchen and talk about the bathroom. So there's a lot of little tiny sinks that you can buy to save space in your bathroom if you want a bathroom sink. I don't actually have one in my tiny home since the kitchen sink is about 2 steps away. Every little inch counts in a tiny home, so think about using swivel or retractable items. I like to use a retractable towel hanger in my bathroom, which can swivel out of the way when not in use. I've also installed a retractable mirror. Another favorite item for tiny housers is the IKEA folding table. They've created one that you can mount on the wall and just flips up when you need it. They've also created one that has 2 sides that flip down and has drawers in the middle. You can actually sit a family of 6 at this table. That's amazing. I don't use one in my tiny house because I've created my own design that works perfectly in my space and I built it myself. But if you have a little bit of space, like let's say you're in a small home, just buy the piece that already works. It might be a bitch to put together, but it's worth it in the end. As for appliances, you don't want something that's going to take up a lot of space on your floor or on your counters. For electric heat, I really like the Envy heater. There's a lot of reasons why I like it, and if you're interested, you can click on the link and read about how I heat my tiny home. But it's a really slick design, inexpensive, low wattage. It's a great little heater that mounts on the wall. If you watched some of my earlier videos, you know that I also like to utilize the space outside of my home when I can. You don't necessarily have to have a lot of bulky appliances in your home. Try to use the space outside when you can. So if you don't want to put an oven in your tiny home or small home, you can utilize the space outside with this solar oven. The one I currently prefer is the GoSun solar oven. It cooks super fast and it can work really well in the winter. If you do, however, want an oven type device that works in your tiny home but doesn't take up too much space, I recommend the New Wave oven. It does a whole bunch of things. It bakes, it broils, it grills, it steams. This is like an all-around awesome device. And it packs away easily under your counter. Putting a big bulky TV on your wall with wires going everywhere, that's just not possible in a lot of tiny houses. So how do you get the entertainment system that you really want in a tiny space? It's simple. Use a projector and projection screen. I use one in my tiny house. In fact, the screen is over my head right now. It's the lightest weight, largest TV that you could possibly have. I can even bring this bad boy outside and do outdoor movie night. It's awesome. I don't know why more people don't do this. If you do have a big TV in your small space, you can utilize these mounts to mount your cable box, DVD player, gaming controllers, and a variety of other things. Forget about a TV stand and utilize that wall space. I can't stress it enough. Hide away the ugly items like suitcases and display the things that you love, and it can serve as another function, as art. Those are just a few of my favorite space savers, but if you check out my website, you can see a whole list of my favorite appliances, gadgets, and space savers. Check back in next time for another video about tiny house living and how it's so awesome.